Well, it's Good Friday, and that means I need to do what everyone else on the planet does over the bank holiday weekend. Jump in the van and hit the roads. It's funny, because you always hear about the bank holiday traffic hell on the news, but it's something we never see in Scotland. Well, not in this part of the country anyway. I don't actually believe it's a thing. Anyway, welcome to Portsoy, a small fishing village that lies on the Moray Firth, about 65 miles east of Inverness and 50 miles northwest of Aberdeen. If I'm brutally honest, I'm not convinced I'm going to get left in peace tonight, but hey ho. I'm also not parked where I'm going to stop. The van's got a bit of camber about it. Don't know if you'll see this, but yeah. It's busy. It's really, really busy actually. Which is kind of surprising because most of the drive up here has been absolutely chucking down. There's three things you probably know Portsoy for. If you've ever seen Whiskey Galore, if you've ever been here for the boat festival, or if you watched the last series of Peaky Blinders, because they filmed some of that here. Is that straight? There we go. Not sure I suit that. Anyway, this is where I'm going to be tonight. I've taken the bike. One of the guys from work may meet me here, I'm not entirely sure, but I am absolutely Hank Marvin. Let's go get some food. Well, maybe the food can wait. Parking space is suddenly freed up. Cue a sprint from me back to the van to grab one of them before they were all snaffled up again. It's safe to say that fishing's the village's main trade. Not only that, but every year the Scottish Traditional Boat Festival draws in thousands of visitors who descend upon the village's 17th century harbour to see some magnificent boats which drop anchor for the weekend. Now, as you'd expect, it's just so peaceful down here. It is an old cliche, but it kind of feels like a different way of life altogether. Now here's something I've just learned. The marble that you can come to Portsoy to buy isn't actually marble at all, but serpentine, which comes from a quarry just along the road from the village. It's a little bit sneaky. There's a real charm to the place, which would probably explain why it's cropped up a number of times on the telly. Not only did it feature in the remake of Whiskey Galore, but Peaky Blinders filmed some of the last series here during the pandemic. There are some subtle clues, mind you. You know, it's funny because even though it's April, it's still blimmin' freezing. That's why the big jacket is still on. With the initial recce of the village done, it was time to go grab some hot food. Now, I'm trying my best to stick to the gluten-free lifestyle, so I wasn't expecting much, but after a quick Google, it turns out the local chipper did a few gluten-free options, so time to scope it out. And naturally, of course, with me having the van tucked away just where I wanted it, it wasn't moving. So I'll just get my legs going then. Got the goods, now back to the van. And all of a sudden, I had some visitors. And after the last video, I had a lot of feedback about my sleeping setup, which has been improved slightly, and there is now a kind of curtain set up. Means if I need the big blanket, I can use it. Right, well, Portsoy so far so good. Dinner was alright. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't expect the chipper here to be gluten free, but they did. It was alright. Wasn't anything amazing, but it did. Despite the fact I've been to Portsoy and I've been through a few times, I've never actually ventured down to the harbour, so this is kind of a first. Might go and see some more of it in the morning. I did have one woman come up to me and ask if maybe I'd be better moving to the campsite. No. She started going on this mad rant about, you know, people with cassette toilets and leaving rubbish and dumping their loos, and yeah, I'm not going to a campsite. But yeah, we'll get up and explore and see a bit more in the morning. I've taken the bike as well. So one of the guys at work has told me about a little bit along the coast that I can cycle along to, so might go and check that out in the morning, we'll see. But for now, I think it's bedtime. Night. But my peace didn't last very long.
I'm not driving, bro! I'm not driving! I'm not driving, God. We're just taking days. You're overreacting, it's fine. I'm not overreacting. I have a perfect right to react to this. Kieran! Kieran! I love you, Kieran!
Well, despite the noise, I actually got a half-decent night's sleep. My neighbours were still kicking about in the morning. They got yapping and offered me a cuppa, so why not? Then it was time to get up and explore again. Right, time to go get breakfast, I suppose. Just across the harbour, everyone was flocking near the Port House Cafe, so must be half decent.
Hello.
With breakfast bagged, it was back to the van to make advantage of the view. This is why I waited for the parking space that I wanted. I'm not going to sit and rave all day about bacon rolls, but I'll rave by this one. The famous-ish Candy Pig. That's what it's on the menu as. Genuinely. You got to try this. So, I mentioned at the start of the video that I took my bike with me. My manager Ben had tipped me off about a wee bay that's pretty much overlooked. It's just along the coast from Portsoy, but it's where he used to go camping when he grew up here. So naturally, I figured it was worth checking out. Though there was a slight problem. For this leg of the journey, it was literally all uphill. Which reminded me just how unfit I am. Speaking of which, if you want to watch more videos of me puffing and pecking, hit subscribe, make sure your notification's on. I might just leave the bike at home next time. We'll see how I get on. Yeah, I've admitted defeat on this hill. I mean, look at it. With any luck, this won't be too far. Honestly, I have never been so relieved to start freewheeling. That's alright, don't worry. Not bad, is it? Just where the wee bay is it?
Just down here.
Ah, right, okay.
That's it, just there.
Ah, okay, cool. So what's down there then?
That's Sand
Sorry?
End.
What's down there?
It's just
like
another route back to Portsoy.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, so
Hello.
Right along that way to take you back to Portsoy.
Yeah. Hello. Is that your pal?
Just visiting out.
Yeah, just up for the night.
Oh, nice. Where are you
So
from?
nice.
Aberdeen.
Oh, so nice.
Hello. Right, enjoy your walk. Ah, she's going to make friends. Have a good one, guys. I'm pretty sure this is the spot. Now, me being me, I completely forgot to take my rucksack with me, which meant I had to leave the drone behind. Don't! It's over there in the distance. I think that's Sand End. I know Cullen's along the coast a wee bit as well, but I don't think it's as close as that. Although when I was getting the bike out of the van, there was a woman about to run along to Cullen, so good on her. So somebody else has obviously had the same idea about camping down here as I have. Well, it's fine. There's no ban on it in Scotland, and to be fair to whoever they were, they've pretty much tidied up apart from the stuff that's been burnt. That's what kind of got my back up last night about that woman's attitude about people dumping cassette toilets and whatnot. You know, most folk are out in vans have that whole leave no trace mentality. Me and the guys in the camper van, we ended up picking up rubbish in the car park. And that was from locals who were on the lash last night, who dropped their vapes and their fags and God knows what else. So it's not really fair to blame everyone in a van for the mess. Yeah, there'll be bad eggs, of course there will. But it's not all of us. Joking and everything aside, we were made to feel very welcome in Portsoy. That was the feedback from the guys in the camper van who I think had come up from Warwickshire. I'm not going to let one NIMBY ruin an otherwise great weekend. I get it, there are parts of Scotland where over-tourism is a thing, especially around the North Coast 500, and sometimes it's easy to get sucked into fear. But if you take that philosophy of leave no trace, tidy up after yourself, and spend a bit of money locally, I don't see the problem. Thank you as always for watching. I'm hoping we can get the channel up to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you haven't done already, please consider subscribing, hit the notification bell, you'll get all the updates, and next week, you don't want to miss it, I will be out taking a friend's car around Aberdeenshire for Drive It Day. I'll see you next Sunday.